Okay, so now we've looked at the 5 fundamental principles. I want you to think of those as your peak performance compass. Have those installed and they're going to put you on the direction for consistently performing at your peak. But now there may be a little question in your mind about, okay, how do we do that? Okay, what are the things that allow you to live that all the time? So let's look at the 12 characteristics. Key characteristic number 1, have a personal purpose and vision. Now the questions to help you assess this is, number 1, what are your goals? Now if you don't know what your key goals are straight off the top of your mind, as soon as we finish this training you need to sit down and just get clear on at least what are your next 90-day goals. 12-month goals will be fantastic as well, or financial year goals too. Question number 2, where are you headed? Okay, so if you don't know specifically what your goals are, then what's the general direction that you're heading in? What is it you want in a general context? How do you see your future? Those of you who are quite visual, and take a moment to say, okay, what do you want in your world around you in your future? Whether it's 6 months, 12 months, 5 years ahead, or maybe you're looking forward to retirement and how you want to see that. Have an idea of what you want in the future so you can start working towards that too. And this is another question that I got from one of my personal mentors, one of my trainers. It's, what is your rocking chair moment? So take your mind forward to near the end of your life. You've lived a long, healthy, successful life. Maybe you're in your 90s and you're in your dream house. You're sitting on a front porch in your rocking chair with your life partner, and you're just reflecting on all the years that you've had, all the challenges and all the successes, and just looking at, okay, what were the key things? What are your things you're remembering? What are you known for? What are you proud of? So take your mind forward to that and just think about, write down, what is your rocking chair moments? Now this will help you all get really clear on your personal purpose and vision. Because as humans we need to add meaning to things. There is no meaning except for what we add to things. And our overall meaning, our meaning of life is, what is your purpose? What is your vision? How are you going to get there? And what's your vehicle for achieving it? And when you get really clear on this, then your motivation for doing things starts to kick in even stronger than what it might already be now. Now the other thing about purpose is it gets you out of bed in the morning. If you were a routine worker in an employed role where you turn up to work, you're told what to do, and then you go home at the end of the day and you just work your 9 till 5 so you can enjoy all the other things around your life, and it doesn't really matter where you work as long as you get a paycheck, then the motivation is often the paycheck and your boss saying you need to be in at 9 a.m. Now you're not in that role anymore. You're in a performance role. You're in a role where if you wanted to turn up at midday, you can, but there may well be a consequence for doing that. There may be some days where you need to be in at 7 a.m. and your purpose and your vision will get you out of bed when that alarm clock goes off so you can get up, get out there and get on with what you need to do. Your purpose and vision gives you energy, it gives you drive, it gives you passion, it gives you a reason for doing these things even in the tough times. So, get clear on your purpose and your vision. This is one of the first fundamental key characteristics that I've seen in all peak performers that I've worked with. They have a drive. And those who are missing it, when we've turned it up and we've got them connected with their purpose, results change very, very quickly. Okay. Key characteristic number 2, quality, not quantity. The questions to assess this is, number 1, do you prefer fine dining or the all-you-can-eat buffet? Question 2 is near enough good enough? And number 3, do you know when to stop? Now let me explain those a little more. There are characteristics that are intrinsic to us within ourselves. We tend to relate to these as from a coaching context. They're called our meta programs, and they are deep unconscious strategies that make up a lot of our behaviours, and think of them as your default settings. Now these can be changed and they can also be managed. Sometimes we just need to know how to use them to get the result we're looking for. So there'll be areas of your life that are consistent, and decisions that you make that are consistent across all areas of your life, both in your personal life and in your career. So if you're the kind of fine dining person, chances are you're going for quality. If you like all you can eat and the selection of whatever you could have, or if I want more I can go back and get it, and it's more of a quantity side of things, you're going to typically want to choose the buffet more often. So be aware of how this fits. Quality is the key to getting good results. It's about training smarter, not harder. It's about working smarter, not harder. It's understanding that we live in a world where time is our most valuable commodity. We have 24 hours in a day. We cannot change that. It's how we use those 24 hours that is going to dictate how we go. Now, if you're more of a buffet style of thinking, you're going to wish there was an extra day in the week. You're going to wish there was more hours in the day. It's not about that. It's about using those hours effectively. I once had a saying, which is now, especially in our new millennium, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. So get a laser focus so you can choose what's going to help you achieve that. That's going to be the key. And quality is the key. It's no longer the thing of just keep going, because there's a glass ceiling for that. You hit that and you just can't fit more into your day. You can't do more of the same thing. You've got to find a better way of doing it, a more efficient way of doing it, or a new way of doing things. Now, the motivation behind that is near enough good enough. It's knowing that, okay, do you just kind of go, alright, that'll do, and then move on to the next thing and try and get as much as you can done? Or do you have a clear idea of where you're hitting these benchmarks? Now, it's important to know, what are your goals, what are your benchmarks? And that links in with the third question, which is, do you know when to stop? Because if you don't know when to stop, you start running what we call the perfectionist strategy. Just always looking for a little bit more. Always looking for that little bit of refinement. And the challenge with this is, if you don't do that, if you don't know when to stop, then you don't know when to move on to the next thing. And it means that you won't run all the steps in the sequence to achieve the results you're looking for. So if you're always falling just short of deadlines or just short of your goals, kind of getting most of the way there but not quite, chances are you're running one of these strategies of the near enough is good enough, or you don't know when to stop. You just keep going and start to loop. So get clear on this. What's the quality? What are the benchmarks? What are the goals? So that you can do quality work in an effective time to get everything you need to do done, which will get you faster results. It's going to increase your profits, it's going to systemize your business, it's going to free up your time to be able to do more of the things that you need to do, because you're not just filling up every minute with just routine stuff that someone else could do. What fits into this as well as an example is outsourcing. What can you outsource so that you get to do what you do best? Okay, key characteristic number 3. Make fast decisions. How long does it take you to decide on something? So just think back to a time when you've had to make a decision. Now, I'm not talking about decisions which are multi-million-dollar decisions for your business or your company. I'm talking about decisions that need to be take decisive action, but something that would happen on a week time frame or a day time frame. And how long does it take you to decide on something? Are you a really long period of time decision maker, or do you make quick decisions and then move on? Now, the key is to make fast decisions. And use an example from the athlete world, and think about, well, just choose your favourite sport and think about your favourite athlete and think about if they stood on the field or in their sport thinking about, okay, how am I going to do this, and taking their time to really think about what's the best way to do this. Then the moment's changed and now they've got to find a different way. They've got to make a new decision with a new set of criteria, which means they get stuck. They never actually end up making a decision. So by making fast decisions, you get to move forwards quicker. It's about making a decision and then getting the feedback, because you don't know until it actually happens. There's always something you weren't expecting. So make the decision, take the feedback, make the next decision. Take the feedback, make the next decision. Quick decisions lead to quick results. The Navy SEALs have a saying that the 80% right decision now is better than the 100% right decision later. And if we're going to take peak performance, this is kind of one of the ultimate peak performance roles. So there's a lesson within that. And again, in the best business owners that I've worked with, they make very quick decisions. Some people get uncomfortable with that, but they're ready to make the next decision every single time. They don't dwell on the past. They're like, bam, decision, take action. See what happens, move on to the next thing. So start to build your muscle around quick decisions. Challenge yourself knowing that the only wrong decision is the decision not made.